Okay, back to the Uber story. Our parents are freaking out, we're texting each other in our group chat so he doesn't hear us. Also, while this was all happening, he wasn't talking to us, but he had an earbud in, and he was talking to someone on the phone really quietly. It was super creepy. My mom starts calling me again, and he hears the ring. And one of my friends pulled up on her phone the directions to get home, which he also heard, so he knew that we thought something was off. After a little while longer, we finally know where we are, so we feel a little bit better. We were getting really close to the turn that goes into my friend's neighborhood, and we were thinking, if he doesn't make this turn, we're screwed. Thank goodness he makes a turn, and we're back at my friend's house. But the scary thing is what if he was planning something, but since our phones were ringing and we had the GPS up, that he changed his mind? Because we were not going home. I still can't stop thinking about it. This is the one time Life 360 has come in handy. We're all safe now.
Hi, welcome to part 2. Make sure you watch part 1 first or this won't make sense, but it's about to get beefy. I said that the hoodie was now sold, and she was literally like, I literally said yesterday I wanted it. Yeah, she said she wanted it, but anyone can buy things on Depop at any time. That's how Depop works. She only wanted it for a lower price anyway, which I'd already said I wasn't going to do. I explained that unfortunately that's how Depop works, and the person that bought it literally bought it for full price, and she could have pressed buy at any time if she really wanted it. And then she said that's not how it works, it's first come first served. And I was like, yes, so whoever buys it first gets it first. She said, no love, I should have got that hoodie, not whoever bought it. I said you could have bought it straight away. And then she said, I wanted to, it's your fault I couldn't. Or I just wasn't gonna lower the price. Like, what? If I'm the seller and I get to choose the price for it and I don't want to lower the price, it's not my fault.
Story time. So last night, me and her were hungry, so we said we're gonna meet up at KFC. It's like right near our houses. And we got there, I got there first, and I was waiting in line, I had our orders and everything, and then these two women come in, and I didn't think anything of it, you know, they're just people, and they stand behind me, and then they get, like, super close to me, like, this close, and I'm like, okay, and I just keep stepping forward, but they kind of keep following me, but it's fine. And then she goes, are those eyelashes real? They're so pretty, or whatever. I was like, yeah, they're real, and like, sweet old woman, that's just, like, what they do. And then she grabs my hair, and she goes, do you make these yourself? They were in braids. And I'm like, yeah. And she keeps feeling my hair until it's my turn to go up to the register. Whatever, I order, it's all done, like, they leave us alone. Then I sit down, waiting for her to get there. She's taking forever. And the two ladies, they come back up to me and they're like, do you think you could give us a ride home? Like, we live right down the street. But I said yes, you know, they're sweet. Follow for part 2. Anyways, so now she's here, and we just tell them, like, we want to eat first, and then, like, we'll bring them right down the street. We finish eating, they get in the car, the two of them are in the back, and me and her in the front. I'm driving, and we're like, it's just right down the street, right? Okay, so they're giving us directions, they're like, turn here, turn here, turn here, go straight here for, like, I don't even know how many miles, and they keep giving us directions, and we're like, this is not down the road. So then, me and her are getting a little bit freaked out, and we went to go eat at, like, 7, so now it's like later, it's getting dark out, and the ladies stop saying directions, like they stop saying anything. So we keep asking, are we almost there, blah blah, they don't answer. So finally I pull over and I'm like, I don't know where we're going, like this is getting kind of freaky, I'm far from home, it's late. They don't say a thing, they won't get out of the car. So then we figured we should call someone, and our phones aren't in the car anymore.
Some people are just fucking stupid. In 1993, a Canadian lawyer got promoted to his new office on the 24th floor. Bragging and showing off his new office to his co-workers, he tells them that his new windows are unbreakable. When they ask him to prove it, he charges full sprint at the window and throws himself into it. The window doesn't break, but it comes off the hinges and frame. An old mate falls to his fucking death. The window hits the ground too, but doesn't break. So if you want to prove that you have unbreakable windows and you value your life, just fucking throw something at it, mate.
So this one time, I decided to do and I was having a really good time hanging out with my roommate and her friend. But shit got weird when my roommate decided to invite over this random person from Tinder that we had never met, which is a terrible fucking idea, by the way. And he came over and he's like, oh my god, you're tripping? Ooh, does that freak you out? Which it didn't, it was just really annoying. But this dude got it into his head that he was gonna scare me while I was in this condition. So when none of us were looking, he opened up our front door and then came back like, guys, somebody just opened your door, and then like ran off, and we were like, what? He's like, yeah, I'm gonna go get him. And so he chased this non-existent person out of the apartment complex, but we didn't know that this person didn't exist, so I got sent into an 8-hour spiral of thinking somebody was gonna break in later, kidnap us, and then murder us. So, long story short, don't be an asshole, and maybe have a better vetting system for picking out your roommates.
This is why you should always trust your instincts. I got the story through my Instagram DMs from a girl who would like to stay anonymous, so we're gonna call her Abby. In 2016, Abby's grandmother was homeless, so sometimes she would go over to their old house and do her laundry and take a shower. Abby's grandmother also had some dogs. When Abby's mother was done doing her grandmother's laundry, she went outside to bring it to the van, and there was a man in the back of the van. And so she told Abby, I think your grandmother has a boyfriend. So Abby went inside and peeked around the house to try to see inside the van without having to open the door, because Abby's mom said that he was sleeping and she didn't want to wake him up. When Abby was walking up to the van, she got a very uneasy feeling and her eyes started watering, and she knew why. But when she walked past the van, he was not asleep anymore, and he sat up and he stared at her. The thing was, Abby was walking past the van, but she was walking in the wrong direction. But she could not bring herself to turn around and walk past the van again, and so the further she walked further from home. Couldn't fit it all into part 1, but part 2 is coming right now. You guys know I never make you wait. Part 2 of the really creepy guy in the van staring at Abby. So as Abby was walking further and further away from her house, she decided that she had to turn around, which means that she would have to walk past the van again. So when she eventually did, she kept her head down and she didn't look, but she could feel his eyes on her the entire time. And we all know what that feels like. I mean, you know when you know that someone's staring at you, like you can feel their eyes on you? Yeah. So Abby didn't tell anybody about the weird feeling that she got from the random guy in her grandmother's van. She just thought that she was being paranoid, so she goes to bed. And then around 1 a.m., she gets a call from her cousin, and her cousin says, the man in the van is looking for us. Well, apparently, he was on some crazy drugs. He chased their grandmother around and told her that he was going to find Abby and her cousin and do whatever he wanted to them because now he knows where they live. Then Abby told her dad, and he got in the car and rode around the neighborhood with a shotgun. And it turns out that he was a registered sex offender. Moral of the story, don't let your grandmother do her laundry at your house.
So I decided to go to Walmart to get my rosé. Right, ladies? Right? Or men. Checking out. You know, the alert goes off and it says approval needed. This girl comes up, she looks at me and goes, "My, you look very young." She's probably a couple years older than me. So I'm like, yeah, I get that a lot. Here's my license. Starts looking me up and down, which I get a lot because look at all this. No, I'm kidding. So you're 22. What school did you go to? I go, I mean, I went to Baylor and I dropped out. I kind of left that part out, but she has the audacity to look at me and go, 22. Are you sure? No, actually, I'm not sure what my age is because every morning I wake up and I select a different age, and that is what I am.
Story time. So I get this text from my mom and it says, hey, guess what? And if you guys didn't know, I'm super into tie-dyeing, so I have a bunch of tie-dye supplies at home. Anyway, she said, I wanted to try tie-dyeing. I think you're going to love what I did. Which I thought was pretty cute. So then I said, oh gosh, what did you tie-dye? And my mom said, I found a plain shirt downstairs. I don't think you wear it very often. So I'm thinking, what plain shirt do I have that I don't wear very often that my mom could have tie-dyed? When I got home, I wanted to look at the shirt. And later I find out that she tie-dyed the top I just bought from PacSun. I'm so upset. I love this shirt. My mom's also never tie-dyed. Well, you never know. Maybe my mom did a good job tie-dyeing and it will look cute. I'll be posting a part 2 once we rinse it and wash it, so stay tuned to see how it turns out.
The most embarrassing. Ah! I was in the bathroom on break, and you know how they have those like toilet seat cover things? Well, yeah, I threw it down and didn't punch out the middle. That's important for later. So I'm doing my thing, and I lost so much weight that I thought I could fly at this point. So I'm done, right? And I go to stand up, and the toilet seat cover sticks to my butt, and then I reach for it, and it falls off, and it glides under the next stall and hits the dude in the foot, and there's poop on it! And I just froze, because at this moment I knew that he knew who I was because of my shoes, because I'm the only one with my shoes, and because I'm not Satan, I reached under and was like, oop, let me now I'm sitting in my car because I don't want to go back in.